So hello, everyone. Look at the look on her face. It's hysterical. Hello. Hello.
Did you hear the beep?
Hi. So you guys are all employees of WebPT, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your day. You guys are probably psyched to take time out, just a couple minutes to hang out with each other. Can you please tell everybody who you are and the departments that you work for and what your role is briefly?
Sure. You want to start?
Yeah, sure. My name is Jovana, and I work for the Therabill portion of WebPT, which is a billing software that we acquired that integrates with WebPT. And I am a lead there, so my responsibility is to train others, any new person that comes aboard, as well as member care person. I do culture presentations when we have new employees to teach them what Therabill is all about, and pretty much help my team on a daily basis, as well as talk with customers.
Awesome.
I'm Brooke. I'm on the marketing team. I'm the brand and design manager, so I get to get my fingers in every single one of the projects that we make as a marketing team, as a company. So all things visual, our website, all of our ads, all the videos that we produce come through my team. So I get to have a lot of fun.
So are you a graphic designer? Or
Yeah, I went to school for graphic design. I get to do no graphic design now.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Awesome. So I'm a graphic designer too, so we have that in common. It's very cool. Yeah.
I love it.
And who's this little the furry person?
This is Cora. She's the barketing manager in the marketing team.
And she's a Labradoodle?
She's a mutt. We're not exactly sure, but
she's very cute.
I think part poodle for sure. She's got that poodle personality.
Mom.
Part poodle.
She seems to like other doodles, so that's my best guess.
Awesome.
And I'm Brooke, not to be confused with Brock.
Don't confuse us.
And I'm the content marketing manager, so I handle basically all written communications. The biggest part of my job is the blog. So I handle all the blog strategy and scheduling and all of that.
Awesome. So you guys totally get this project because of the blog and the visual piece and the people piece, right? So you totally get it.
Oh yeah.
So you guys could work anywhere. You're all bright, you're funny, you're good looking. Why work at WebPT?
Yeah, Cora, you start.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know.
I recruited Cora to work at WebPT.
Yeah.
I think it's more, we're like a big family, and it's more just, you're coming to work, but yet you're having fun doing it. So I love the fact that we can take a break, go play ping pong, refresh our mind for a few minutes and come back to work. But we work hard for our members and make them happy, and that's what makes me happy. And on top of that, when I first got hired, Heidi showed me where her daughter Ava's little room was, and she said, well, if you ever need a baby fix, take a break. I'm like, I'm sold.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. How about you?
So I've been working here for 2 work sessions over the span of about 5 years. So I started at WebPT and worked here for about 2 years. Got to redo a lot of the branding and the way that the way that WebPT looked visually, and then I was like, cool, I'm done. So I ended up quitting and worked on a bunch of freelance projects for a while, worked with a bunch of different companies around town, and I found that there was nobody else that was quite like the marketing team here in Jovana.
Thank you.
Good ass kissing, that's good. Awesome.
Yeah, so we just have such a great time, and I think that's based on, the MINTY core value that we're talking about today. The people here are just so genuine, and they're so friendly, and they're so collaborative that, sure, we're working, but we're working together in a way that feels, like she said, like family. And Brooke's going to say probably the same thing.
Yeah, for me, it's all about the people.
Or she better say that.
It really is. I always tell people that I could do the job that I do at any company, but I can only do it surrounded by these amazing people at this company. And that is what has kept me here for nearly 5 years. I've had opportunities to go elsewhere. I just cannot walk away from these people.
You came to Arizona for this job, if I remember correctly. You're not a heat person, if I remember correctly.
I moved across the country.
This is not okay with you, this 120 thing.
Yeah, I picked up and moved across the country, packed everything I could fit into my car, moved here by myself in Montana. My plan was to stay for a year. That I was like, I will make myself stay for a year, and then we'll see. And I've been here almost 5 years now, so.
But she talks about Montana every single day.
Yeah.
I'm into a lover of all things Montana.
Yeah, I'd have to say it's my second favorite state.
That's awesome. So the core value that you've already kind of mentioned is be minty, which I think is just a hoot, right? Like be minty, like just don't be a jerk, right? Just be nice, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about the core value of be minty.
So it's it's about collaboration. It's about coming to work with a positive attitude, and recognizing that if everybody is like hyper caffeinated and wacky, then we all get to be hyper caffeinated and wacky together. And it just makes a really fun work environment.
That's cool.
Yeah, and with caffeine, I'm not a caffeine person. I don't like it. I don't need it. If I ever did, I don't know what I would be like. But mintiness is like caffeine for your soul to me. So it's bringing that fresh joy every day and just loving what you do, being an inspiration to your teammates as well as other departments, and teamwork is a huge part in your passion as far as being minty is concerned.
And this rubs off on your client base, your members, because you guys don't even call them clients or customers, you call them members, right?
Yes, correct.
Which I think is pretty cool.
It's like Costco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, right? Like you're actually part of as opposed to outside of, right?
Yes.
Well, say that again. I didn't hear it.
He goes, it's like Costco, and I said, yeah, but with fewer free samples.
Although we do have some free samples here.
Every once in a while.
Yeah, actually, we've got there's mint gum. I brought this in because we're all
It's
minty.
minty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually are literally totally minty. Like,
yeah, it's just like Costco. There are free samples. There's free gum. I actually started when I first started at WebPT. My wife
Cora really wants
my wife works here too, and so I would eat the mint gum. Until I'm a smacker. I like when I chew gum.
There's no missing that you're like chewing gum.
So she kindly asked me to stop chewing gum. So don't smell my breath because it's not minty. But I have to overcome that with my personality.
Yeah, well, you're doing very well at that. You're doing very well at that. And how about you? The whole be minty thing.
So I think that for me, like be minty goes beyond just being friendly. I think it's like really being empathetic towards the people that you work with and recognizing how your actions impact them. And I mean that extends beyond just like the work environment. We're going to talk more about our give back initiatives, but I think that kind of bleeds into that core value as well.
So that's a good lead way for the next question. So yes. What are the benefits of being a socially responsible company? Like we were talking before, kind of the trickle down effect from the leadership making choices, and then it kind of trickles down to the worker bees on the floor. They're really the people with your sleeves rolled up and the work that you're working directly with the client. So what's the benefit for you of having these 6 organizations, in particular United Blood Services of Arizona, as a socially responsible company?
Well, I think, like I said, it's hiring people who are capable of recognizing how their actions impact others. So it's more than just brightening someone's day, like United Blood Services. In that case, it's like your actions could potentially save a life. And I think when you build a company on values like that, it just makes for a really amazing work environment. When you have people who are all dedicated to those values, it just eliminates some of the bad stuff that can happen in companies, some of the toxicity.
Keeps it real.
Yeah, the toxicity of the work environment, the politicking and that kind of thing, because we're all constantly thinking about, how we're impacting others.
And Desert Labrador Retriever Rescue is one of the organizations,
yes.
and it's one of the main reasons why you guys are dog friendly, because Heidi used to own a lab, right?
Yep.
And so you are obviously dog friendly.
Yes.
This is not a costume. This is not a person in a costume.
I mean, she has been
although she
mistaken
is very, very human-like, right?
Yeah, her eyes.
Yeah.
So how about you guys? What's the benefit of being a socially responsible company?
I find that a huge benefit is people always remember who you are, and you're valued as an employee when they're giving back to both employees and outside communities. When you get back to your employees, they see that they recognize that they're a person in your life as a non-member, which in turn creates a better environment as far as a happier environment, better customer service toward our members.
Because happier people are easier to deal with on the phone, I've discovered.
And yes.
We've all had that grumpy customer service person. You're like, wow, dude, you really need to go get another job, right?
Exactly. So we definitely we hired not just for your capabilities, but your personality as well. It's a huge part.
There's a culture fit here, yeah.
And as far as outreach outside your company, it's always great to give back as far as that's concerned. Not to put your name out there, but because you want to. It's something that you feel that, you know, hey, we're doing good as a company, let's give back.
Right.
And one of my quotes I love is by Maya Angelou, who says, it goes,
Paraphrasing.
I've learned that people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So when you think about that, our memories are always, and their decisions are based on emotion. And they might even remember you just because you did something once for them, and maybe like, oh, you know, I need this done. I remember that company does that.
Right.
And refer you. So it's a win-win on both situations as far as getting business and giving back.
So the organization that you guys are, your conversation is partner with is United Blood Services of Arizona. So how do you see that organization resonating with the Be Minty value in particular?
They're very, to me, they're very empathetic. I don't like needles.
Yeah.
Do it.
I love it.
I do it.
Yeah.
I like noodles.
Yeah, noodles and needles at the end of the
I'm more of a
day.
noodle guy. Yeah, I guess.
But I don't like it. I do it because it saves lives, so I put up with it. But I've never encountered a person who worked there that didn't make me feel uncomfortable. They always made me laugh. They walk through their process. And
They don't just stab you with the needle.
Right.
Yeah.
They care. They're very kind and gentle.
Oh, that's cool.
I almost fainted last time, so
Oh.
that was interesting. But you know, they make sure you're okay, and I think they really appreciate the fact that you're coming to take time out to give back.
How often do they come and do blood donor
I think about
events?
8 weeks. We try to do like every few months. I think
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Brock? How do you see that organization being Minty?
So I've never given blood because I'm a jerk.
Okay.
I'm more of a noodle person than a needle person. I have really low blood pressure.
Yeah.
So I can't give blood. But I can see, you know, when they wipe you down with the alcohol wipes, it kind of has that tingling, like minty sort of
feeling. Oh, so
yeah.
that's how you actually literally physically feel like it's minty.
Yeah, physically very minty.
Very.
But you know, I think that they're to tie it back to us with the Be Minty core value. You know, it just being a part of an organization that is helping in this way. It just feels so good for us here too. You know, I think that
There's a pride factor, and isn't there?
yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a blood shortage everywhere.
Yeah, you know, I've never worked at another place that
Gives so much.
right that brings in something like this so frequently. I just think that it feels so good to support a company that is willing to support a company that is willing to support people.
Oh, that's very cool. That's very well said, actually. That's very cool. So the last question is a personal one. It's one I ask everybody that I interview, and it's about the concept of fearlessness. So what can you tell the people listening about what you've learned about being fearless, just generally being fearless? This is like a pregnant pause.
Cora?
Well, when there's coyotes and javelina.
Cora has no fear when the mailman comes to the door.
Yeah. You stay away from my mom, right?
So I've always found that I've overcome fear by just jumping into it, you know? So I graduated from college with a degree in graphic design and wanted to I always wanted to be an artist. And so I was like, okay, well now I have this degree in graphic design, right? I have a degree in graphic design, how do I become an artist? Like how do I make sure that I don't lose those skills and just focus too much on the design part? So I came up with a challenge for myself to create a piece of artwork every single day for a year. And I was like, that's terrifying. I'm gonna do it. So I just jumped all in, overcame my fear on that, and it ended up being one of the best things that I've ever done for myself.
It gives you a habit of working, right?
Yeah, I just, you know, because I just committed to it and because there was social pressure to make sure that I got all this done, I actually completed the entire year of artwork, had 365 pieces, and I've done that project again 2 more times. So I've got over 1,000 pieces of artwork.
Have you sold any of it?
Plenty.
Awesome, that's awesome.
Fortunately.
Awesome.
I license it out for album artwork.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I've been very fortunate, and it was all because I overcame this fear of, you know, what do I do now that I've graduated from
So you
college?
totally get how this project happened, because I decided to make a public commitment to start demonstrating visual journalism.
Yeah.
By making a commitment to a company or to an organization or to a group of people to actually share that work real time. So you'll start to see the posts about this project go up in about a week, and they go up pretty quickly. So I'm painting 16 paintings in 15 weeks.
It's just like, you know, there's always fear, and fear will block you,
Yeah.
right? But the extreme joy and satisfaction is right on the other side of that.
Yeah.
There's a video where Will Smith talks about jumping out of a plane.
I've seen that. It's awesome. It's awesome.
And, you know, there's all the fear of, you know, going up, and then the moment that you finally jump out of the plane, you're just filled with like extreme
yay!
bliss
Right.
that you would have never otherwise known if you didn't jump out of the plane.
Exactly.
It's not scary.
Jumping out of a plane?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's on my list of things.
It's literally probably the most peaceful experiences I've ever had in my life.
This
Yeah.
is really. I'm getting images about this painting right
I know
away.
it sounds weird, but it is.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not afraid of planes or heights, so it wasn't a big deal for me to go up in a plane. But to jump out, I had no fear whatsoever, and it was just like, you're just floating.
You're just floating.
And
It says sounds surreal, right?
amazing. It was.
Which is kind of what we talked about before this interview. You said you really don't deal with daily fear, but you've had a fear experience that you've kind of.
Right, so it's a very long story, but what it comes down to is that I had never been out west until I moved here. And I was always had this knack that I was supposed to be here somehow. And so for many years, it was like in my head, and it came to the point in my life where I realized I put myself on a back burner and just kept catering to other people's needs in their lives and let my life just, slip away. So I decided to make a change and make some sacrifices and decisions that would better my life and make me happier, but still be able to be a good friend to others. So during those decisions that I made, I realized how strong I was and what I was capable of doing, and knowing that though I don't know what the future was going to happen, I just put myself out there and just kept going. And like Brooke, I didn't have a job at the time, so I did just pack up my car with my essentials and drove out here with just the hopes of like it's going to work out. And it has, and I loved every moment of it. So.
It sounds similar to what I did. I put my Harley in a rented U-Haul. I took 4 bags of clothes, 2 cats, a litter box, a laptop.
Wow.
I had $100 in my pocket, my credit cards, and I drove out here. So I totally get that.
Yeah, it was.
It's really liberating, isn't it? You're like, okay, I'm changing everything, right? Oh,
Yeah.
see, look at that. That's my mom calling, saying, "Yeah, I can't believe you moved to Arizona."
I can't believe you shaved your head.
I did. My mom, I told them the story about shaving my head, where my mother was shocked that I actually did it. How about you, Brooke? The idea of fearlessness.
I think for me, like the biggest thing is just accepting failure as part of the growth process, which is still a work in progress.
It still sucks when you're doing it, doesn't
Right?
it? Like failing's never easy.
Right, and I think that working here has really helped me move past that because
We fail all the time.
yeah, and it's encouraged. Whereas in past work environments I've been in, it's like there's so much pressure to not fail, and because of that, it kind of
It stagnates your growth, right?
It forces you to make safe decisions. You never pursue ideas that are more out of the box because you don't know how they're going to go.
You're in CYA mode all the time, right?
Exactly. Whereas here it's like, yeah, do the research and, figure out like if it's a good decision to go for it, but then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still growing every day and still learning every day because of that, and that's like the main reason that, well, I mean the people obviously, but that is one of the main reasons I'm still here, because I'm still learning every single day. The day I stop learning is the day I'll know that it's time to move on.
Right. I listened to a thing called Darren Daly, the guy that founded Success Magazine, and he just this week was talking about fail faster, and often that actually is a component of success is failing,
Right.
having things not work out. One of my favorite quotes is from Thomas Edison. He said, "I didn't find 10,000 ways not to create the light bulb." Of course, I'm paraphrasing here. But I didn't fail to create the light bulb 10,000 times, but I found 10,000 ways that failed to create the light bulb or something like that. Basically saying that in order for the light bulb to happen, he had to literally have it not work 10,000 times.
Right.
Which really, when you think about it, oh my God, like after like, I don't know, 4,000 times when you get a little discouraged, right?
Right.
But if he had given up and just let failure stop him, we wouldn't have the lights that are above us right now. So it's just really interesting to me how failure is just part of it. So, well, thank you very much for doing the Art of Fearless Leaving Back interview. I look forward to seeing you guys in February at the auction, which we're still negotiating where we're going to have that space. And by the time people see this video, we'll know where it's going to be. But thanks so much for taking time out of your day, and thank you, Cora, for hanging out, dude.
Of course.
You did very good. You're a very good girl. Good girl. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.